Welcome, my name is Tashara and this is StarMade. I'm on the bridge of the Radiant Dawn at the moment. Nothing has really changed here at the moment. Well, one thing has changed. I removed one of the elevator shafts on the left side here. Well, because I have been working on the interior mainly of the ship, this is what we're going to be showing today. So the first change is this area here. I added this little room over here on the side as a captain ready room or something like that. Not really done at the moment, just blocked out to reserve the space for that. But the rest of the interior is, well, it's come a long way. I didn't have a lot of time to build 2 weeks ago, that's why there was no video at the time. But I did have some more time this week, so I started out with the layout I already showed you in the previous episode and built from there. Well, we'll take the elevator down. This works now as well, by the way, so the logic was implemented for this. It's not completely done yet because, well, it's a bit slow and I need to put a roof on this elevator, things like that. Well, this is the first floor you encounter from the bridge section. Completed this hallway that connects basically the elevator shafts with the engineering section, and then we've got a detention area over there and then the rest of the ship over there. Well, the engineering section over here, this is an empty space as well, so this is an area that I still need to work on. It's just the space I've got for this. It's an interesting concept because I've got 2 separate floors for this engineering section, so that could be interesting. Like I said, on this side I've got a detention area, so just 2 cells because this is not a prison ship. It's just for, I don't know, if one of the crew members gets drunk and needs to cool off or something like that. And yeah, it's only temporary, you can spend the night there or something like that. This leads to the rest of the ship, this area. I decided to go for a similar style of interior as I used with the winter shade. That's why this infirmary might seem familiar to you, because it's a exact copy. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it like that, but I really liked the layout of the original infirmary, so I copied it over. Well, the rest of the ship is all original. On this side of the hallway I decided to add some lab areas. This is one lab area that is mainly focused on plant life and biological research, things like that. So I've got some alien type plants that are being grown and investigated, and some water to water the plants, and some research can be done on these consoles. And on the other side there is a different lab. This lab will be mainly focused on the engineering type of research, so I started adding some elements to this one, but it's not done yet. So for example, we've got this laser that can be tested to see if certain hull types are resilient or not. The only strange thing is, because this is part of the ship, this laser will shoot out of the entire ship. But you can't see that anyway if you are in here anyway. And then on this side I'm planning to add a conference room of some sort, but that's an empty room now as well, so still need to work on that. And then we get to this area. This is the most incomplete area of the ship yet, I think. So this will be captain's quarters on this side, and then 2 smaller quarters on this side of the hallway, one for the first officer and one for 2 senior officers, I think. We'll see. And then on this end we've got a hallway again that leads to another elevator, and to this hallway this connects the, well, basically the living sections and the working section with the rest of the ship. So this is the hallway with the airlock over there. That's not done either. So this entire level of the ship is the most incomplete as of now. The level below this, we'll take this elevator, is a lot more done. I've got a lot more detailing done on that one. Here we are. So we are in a similar hallway, and this is a hallway that's a bit different than the one above here, because I decided to add these terminals here. The idea is basically to add these terminals for timesheet clocking, things like that, because this is the hallway that leads to the cargo section and the work area at the front of the ship. So when you're done with work, then you can come over here, clock your timesheets or things like that. You can basically see this as a public phone booth of sorts, so you can call family or something like that. And then you continue on to the living areas of the crew. So in this hallway I've got the washing facilities. It's mirrored on both sides. So this is one such facility. Got a shower, things like that. And on this side, like I said, it's the same. So mirror like this, kind of like it, how it worked out. And then we've got the door here in the middle. This leads downstairs, this tube, to the escape pods, but we'll get to that later. And after this we've got the actual sleeping quarters for the crew, the regular crew. So I've got bunk beds. It's 8 per crew quarter, so 8 on this side and 8 on the other side, so 16 people in total, like I said before. And including then the captain and first mate and the 2 senior officers, that makes 20 people. They got a table in the middle to, I don't know, play games, I don't know, card games, things like that. And at the end of the hallway we continue, we will end up in the recreational area or dining area with the kitchen on this side. This was also heavily inspired by the mess hall I did in the winter shade, but a bit different because I added this, well, it's a fake window basically, to make the crew feel more at home, at least more pleasant when they are sitting here. And if you press this button, you can switch it over to the evening mode, so it gets darker, all the lights, or at least most of the lights, turn off, and you've got a more evening type mood going on there. Then if you switch it back on, then it's day again, so you get different atmospheres. I always try to liven up my interior with the color lights, because a lot of the interior blocks I use is grey hull and similar grey colored blocks, so the colored lighting really helps. Same here, for example, this is the food, some mashed potatoes and some greenery, and I don't know, some meat that they keep in here. So these yellow lights look like they are heat lamps to keep all the food warm. Well, this is the kitchen area, as you might have guessed. We've got some furnaces here to cook things and, well, to get rid of all the foul smells. And then on this side we have a cooling cell with all the food stuff stored here. Got some additional details in the floor. And when we exit on this side, and you might have noticed that I haven't installed any doors yet. That will be the last thing I do after I got everything detailed. We end in a similar hall as we started in, because this is basically mirrored as the one above, but instead of a detection area we have got a teleporter room on this side. So you can come up here and then stand on the teleporter pod and then go here for the teleporter destination, and the consoles here as additional detailing. And this is then the ground floor of the engineering section that isn't done yet. Well, we can call the elevator down to this level. There it is. Oh, one additional detail I can show you. This is the bond in the floor here is inlaid with a docked entity to get this angle. I really wanted that because the if I just keep it gray, then the elevator entrance looks really weird, I think, but this defines where the elevator is. Okay, we can go down one more floor. This is a additional room I added later. This will be the communications, computers, all types of electronics command type room. Perhaps we will get some more additional detail blocks that have some functionality as well. I want to add some consoles and things like that. You can imagine that the mining drones will be flown from this main ship, so we need control stations for that. So that will be this area. It's not done yet, as you can see, but it's getting there. And you can exit through here, through this hallway, and this hallway connects to the hallway for the escape capsules. So that's a hallway that you already seen in the escape capsules as well. This is the tube-like hallway that connected to the living quarters above. So I'm not going through that. I'm going to continue to this end, because this area here is new as well. This is basically the environmental and water reclamation, things like that. So we've got the water over here. These are, for example, CO2 scrubbers that keep the air fresh, things like that. Then we've got in the floor here some additional details with large vessels that, well, you can't get to them, but you can see them because of the lighting, and it's really some depth to this area. And we've got the maintenance tube here for the escape pods that I've already shown before. So it's now connected to the main areas of the ship. So this is basically a sort of engineering, but yeah, more environmental for the ship. Then we've got this big elevator over here. This is bigger than the other elevators I've got, because this connects to the shuttle bay I've got at the bottom of the ship. So I would imagine that a shuttle would bring in fresh water and perhaps some other stuff that is needed for the environmental systems. So we need to get them out of the ship and then in the elevator and upstairs to the area over there. I've got some additional controls here on the sides. So this one opens the door. I'm kind of suffocating at the moment, of course, but yeah, still the warning lights turn on. So this is the shuttle bay at the front. So as you can see, I completed the back end of the hangar bay here. Let's close up the door. So that's the main areas of the ship I added, and there won't be a lot more of the interior that will be added to this. This is pretty much it, including of course the work area at the front of the ship. So to get a better overview of this, I'll load up a copy of this ship and then I'll make a cross-section again. So I'll have to jump to a different universe for that, so I will be right back. And here we are. As you can see, I completely opened up the ship on one side, and it's got a lot of interior if you look at it like this, because it's all the way from the front, from the hangar bay, all the way back to the engineering section over here. It's all interior. Not as wide as the ship is, because if you go inside, can see over here I've got plenty of space on this side of the hull, between the hull and the interior, to add systems, and on the other side is exactly the same, or at least not exactly, but most of it. So there's basically a bit of an illusion that you get when you work on site, walking on site inside the ship, that it looks bigger on the inside than it actually is, because it's so long. The control room over here, for example, that's something I added because I usually do cross sections like this, and I noticed that we didn't have a way to get from here back up again. So I wanted to connect the elevator that's basically over here from bridge down this line, and that's how I usually decide how to lay out my ships, to see if you can move easily within the interior space of a ship. So that's why I've got an elevator on this side. I've got the main elevator on this side, so you can go up and down on both sides of the interior. And I've got the additional over here way to get to the escape pods, because the escape pods are of course an important area to reach if there is a need for it. And then of course we've got the main elevator over here that goes down to the hangar bay over there. It's a nice way to see these details as well, and it looks more like the ship is shaped because of the interior, while it's actually not, because I'm adding the interior of course last. This is also a good way to check if you want to add more or less areas. Like I said, I do it to check the flow, how you walk through a ship, but also if it fills out enough space within the ship itself. And of course it just looks nice to look at it like this. My next step will be completing all the detailing of the interior, so I still need to do, for example, airlocks like this, the regular airlocks to get inside the ship, the areas I showed like engineering and the control room below. And once that's done, I will install the doors and then work on the system. So probably the weapon systems first, and then I can see how much power I need and things like that, if I can enlarge it. But that's my next step, and I will show you that in the next video. Thanks for watching.